What's up everyone, Allsman17 here to be reviewing Naruto Manga Chapter 629. And then overall, this is a pretty good solid chapter. I enjoyed it. It brought us some new information about how Rin really died, and some new how to why. Kind of a new reason of how Obito is doing this war. You know, it is kind of connected to the reason that we thought it was, that was revealed in a few chapters ago. Overall, it's a good chapter. Obito did and said some stuff in this chapter that really kind of changed things if you read the previous chapter, which I'm about to get into later on in the video about how Rin died and how he knows stuff, etc. But I might get to that later in the video. But let's start off with this review. So this chapter starts off how it did the last chapter ended, with those wind holes, tunnels circling around, and basically Madara thinks that's going to stop this Shinobi Alliance, and Madara says, "I bet that handled them now," or something. I think that got them out the way. But it turns out Naruto saved them once again, and right now Naruto is like out of chakra, out of breath. He's like breathing hard. His like shirt is ripped up. His sleeves are all ripped. You see little blood, and he's like, it won't work. And but because right now Madara kind of wants to move on to another fight. He's like saying this fight is boring. It's not. Guess he's saying that there's no competition to him. And Obito basically still tries to attack him. Naruto still saying he won't give up. And without his friends, he would know what he'd do about his friends. Sakura tries to heal him, and Hinata like turning around looking at Naruto, which I think is kind of bad because the last time she turned around not paying attention to the fight, Neji wound up getting killed trying to protect her. So I think she should be paying a little more attention. But Sakura is trying to heal Naruto, and Obito tries to attack Naruto. Kakashi tries to save him, and he wants to get sucked up in the vortex by Obito. And like I said earlier, Madara, he's still bored of this fight. He wants to move on. Other stuff you see in the first chapter, you kind of see the Ten Tail is still being revived, but you think it'd be a little faster. But dude trying to hold it off. He's still getting revived fully, and you see him still getting there. But Madara for the last chapter, he senses Hashirama's chakra, and he wants to go fight Hashirama. He says, "I have something more fun to do." But you notice that Kishi, he kind of been doing this with Madara almost every chapter he's been in Naruto now, trying to move him around to different spots. Because if you notice, when he's fighting the 5 Kage and when he was fighting other battles, he kept saying that, "Oh, y'all boring me, has something more fun to do." You know, kind of saying there's no competition to him. So it looks like Kishi's trying to move him all around different spots, use him to potential since he's back in this war right now, one of the main villains in this war. So that's kind of how the first part of the chapter ended. And now everybody goes like the heart of the chapter. We kind of really built this chapter up, which is really good. It shows Kakashi and Obito how they're in that different dimension that he sucked him into. And Kakashi, as soon as they get there, tries to attack Obito, who's laying on the ground. So he goes like this, but he can't bring himself to do it. And Obito's like, "Oh, you're still hesitant." And Kakashi's like, "Stop this now," and basically saying that you once had the same dream as Naruto to be Hokage. That dream could live on in Naruto. You used to be like Naruto, and I still believe that you still believe in what Naruto believes in. Obito kind of just brushes it off and says, I understand Naruto's words, and I'm doing this to deny it." And basically he goes into like this big laughter. But I kind of think he kind of went a little crazy overboard with being martyr for years and saying all the stuff he did and knowing the stuff he know. Then he kind of went a little crazy. He starts just busting out laughing when Kakashi's talking. Kakashi basically trying to tell him, Naruto just like you, and it's kind of like you're overlapping yourself. And Obito kind of just goes in and says that I know the truth. I know everything that happened. And Kakashi's kind of shocked, and he's like, and Obito's like, "Do you still feel guilty about what you did? That's how you let Rin die?" He's like, "Don't let yourself feel guilty about it." Because he says, "I blame this world," basically. And he goes into the story how he knows how Rin truly died. And apparently, Rin was kidnapped by Miss Ninja, and they turned into Jinchuriki. So Kakashi went on a mission to rescue her. He saved her, bring her back to the village. She gets attacked by Mist Ninja. But the Mist Ninja want Kakashi to rescue her so she could destroy the Hidden Leaf Edge. She tells Kakashi this, that he has to kill her, that she can't come back into the village with him. But Kakashi's like, no, I made a promise to Obito to protect you. And while he's fighting Mist Ninja, he does the same technique. He tries to hit them again. But Rin jumps in the way. And this also brings up a question like, can we still really blame Kakashi for killing Rin or be the cause of Rin's death and all this stuff that happened so far? Because technically he didn't mean to kill Rin, or he didn't want to. Rin jumped in the way when he was trying to do his attack, and he was in midway, almost about to hit the person, so like he couldn't have stopped. He didn't know just she was gonna jump in the way. But so can we still kind of blame him? And even though you see in the chapters, Kakashi is still holding guilt, he's still blaming himself to why Rin died. But back to the chapter, you see then Obito kind of tells him that, to me it seems like Obito like giving up on humanity, and he doesn't want to accept reality, he doesn't want to accept death. And because he says the real Rin didn't die, that was a fake Rin, and you were an imposter for letting her die. So apparently Obito sees it as Kakashi still failed him. He's saying that he's not starting this war for Rin and Kakashi, that basically he tells Kakashi don't flatter himself. And the reason that he gave to Kakashi isn't so far from the reason that we first got a few chapters ago when he told Kakashi that I'm starting this war because you let Rin die. It basically still revolves around Rin, but it evolves more. He told him that he knows everything that happened. And so, which is a little surprising, because you would have thought that maybe Madara kept Obito dumbfounded about stuff. Because earlier in the chapters, it showed him kind of not knowing what happened. Zetsu, they were telling him, oh, we found this battle a few close nearby, Rin and Kakashi. So it kind of looked like that they was set him up themselves. But it turns out Obito knew everything, so he probably found out over the years what truly happened. And like he's blaming the world, and he's just like mad. So it was like I thought that, well, I was thinking that Obito basically doesn't want to accept the reality that Rin died or that people die. Because he was saying that everything's a fake. He called Rin a fake, and he called Kakashi an imposter for letting Rin die. And this also goes to show that I'm not sure, maybe Obito maybe somehow went crazy due to being with years of Madara, or it's just the effects of him finding out everything, the truth about what happened, and it turned him out this way. But later on, Kakashi tries to strike Obito down, and like he goes like this, and he actually hits him this time. But before that, Obito uses his genjutsu, and like basically makes himself look like Rin. So while he's trying to hit him, it's like Rin. He hits him right here in the chest area, and like it goes through, and it's like a big hole right here, and then you see nothing there, not even a heart, and the blood dripping down, because the heart was to be right there. And he winds up going to tell Kakashi that he doesn't have a heart, and basically this is a fake world. And that's how the chapter ends. And this also brings up another question, whether did Obito die or not, because the chapter ended in a cliffhanger. It didn't really show you whether he died or not, so you're not really sure Obito died. So no one really knows if that was the end of Obito and Kishi's gonna move on to somebody else, or is Obito still alive. Another point I wanted to bring up was earlier when they were showing Naruto, he like had all the tail beasts behind them. Then it showed two Rinnegan eyes. I also want to know, like, was this a kind of a sign or something showing that maybe that he gonna get some kind of new power from Seisha's past, or Seisha's past gonna appear somehow? Don't really know, but I do know that we're getting close to showing the end of Obito, I assume, how he saying he wants to cure the world with the real people. So anyways, what do you thought of this chapter? For me, it was a pretty solid chapter. I liked it. Thank you guys for watching. Comment, subscribe. Bye guys.